Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to another rendition of the Attractions Podcast live on YouTube as we record the newest episode. Now looks to be a weekly thing. This is the third week we've been doing this.
Yeah, I'm still not used to it. It's still a little weird. We still got some stuff to get used to. As you can tell, our lighting is very different, but we're doing it.
Yeah, it's it's relaxed. I'm trying to add new things. You'll see throughout this broadcast. I'm gonna do some new fancy things with photos and videos. If you follow Early Night Live, I did a little bit of that this past week, just kind of playing with the software here. So we're gonna do that. We'll talk more about that when we start actually recording the podcast itself. But thanks everyone for joining us tonight for the video version.
Yeah, thanks for joining in live TV, kind of.
Happy Easter to you too from Northeast England. You're up late. This is past midnight for you guys.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Katie, happy Easter to you as well.
Happy Easter.
Hope everyone had a good holiday. We'll chat more about that as well. We'll let a few more people join in before we start recording here. As usual, this will go up as a podcast tomorrow, Monday, April the 13th, on all podcast platforms out there. Then the video version, we stay for replays for people to catch what they missed, because we're actually going to have visuals this week that people listening will not get to see. So they'll have to come and watch the live stream to see it.
Yeah, we're going fancy now. Yeah. So,
Steve, hello to you. Good to see you, sir. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start recording the podcast as usual. We're going to be doing the podcast like we usually do between Brittany and myself. Won't be talking too much to the chat room on YouTube, but we will come to you guys later on in the show for questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and hold them now. Wait until later to ask them, or if you're not going to be there, ask them now. I'll scroll up and see if I can find it again. Hashtag fancy, that's right. So please do not be offended if we're not paying attention to your comments while we're recording. We're just doing the podcast as usual. So, but we do have some fun visuals for you guys that tuned in tonight on YouTube. So thank you again.
Let's do this.
Real quick, Roaring Lions, shout out to you. All right, here we go, everyone, in 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 30 of the Attractions Podcast. I'm Banks.
And I'm Brittany.
And I already messed up. What do I say? Wow.
Usually
we are here to give you. Yeah, we're here to give you a rundown. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try that again, guys. Yeah, these are the things that you don't get to see, the bloopers. We don't have these in the show, so we'll start that again. All right, 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 30 of the Attractions Podcast. I'm Banks.
And I'm Brittany.
And we're here to give you the rundown of all the latest happenings from attractionsmagazine.com over the past week and in our lives in general. For those that are listening to this on your podcast platform of choice, once again, we are doing this live now every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over at youtube.com/attractionsmagazine. And every week now it's getting more and more, I'm adding more to it. So there's going to be visuals this week. So if you're listening to this as the audio version, you can go back and catch the replay for the visuals. We're treating this almost like a news show now.
Yeah, and I've upgraded my visual pew here too. I'm using my streaming setup instead of my MacBook this time.
I've seen, what are those posters over there behind you?
Those are from a Japanese bookstore in town. Josh got them. They're just like travel poster things, and then this is a Dan Bell Mothman poster.
Ooh, really?
Yeah,
that is awesome. Let me check some audio settings here, because we are doing this live, so I'm seeing in our YouTube chat that there's an echo to my audio, but I do not hear it on my end. So looks like we're all good.
I've got some odd readings on Audacity, but you recorded the audio from this last week and it sounded good.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Okay.
This
cool.
is all technical mumbo jumbo.
Yeah. If you see me looking
no
down here,
attention to
I have
me.
like a mixer I'm like messing with trying to fix this.
Pay no attention to the people behind the curtain.
Yeah, don't look.
Anyway, so Brittany, how was your Easter? Happy Easter, by the way, everyone. How was your Easter this weekend?
Well, I spent it indoors. We don't have like kids or anything, so we didn't do any like Easter egg hunting or get candy or whatever. I actually streamed The Witcher 3 for like 2 hours today.
I popped in for a second there.
Oh, you did? Well,
I did.
Thanks for lurking.
You're welcome. Silently lurking, seeing how she's doing.
Yeah, well, I have like the way that I do it, there's like a little ticker up here with the comments so I can see how many people are watching versus like how many people are actually talking in the chat. So maybe you were one of the 12 that popped in and didn't say anything.
I was going there for a couple minutes, like right as you were starting the game. So.
Yeah, it was tricky. I ran into this weird thing today where I had it all hooked up and I played Animal Crossing just to test it out because I got my new capture card hooked up. And then when I started The Witcher, it was like that game was just so much that it could not, like my computer couldn't handle it at first. And then I tried refreshing stuff and then the capture card stopped working and it was a whole thing. So I had to like unplug everything and then plug it back up. But that was what I did today. And then we were lazy, just laid around the house yesterday.
I mean, it's all you can do nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a pretty eventful Easter, of course, with 2 kids. My son Oliver turned 2 yesterday on the 11th. So happy birthday to him. So yeah, we hid eggs outside in the yard and let them go find them. And I don't know if anyone saw the photos I posted on Twitter, but a squirrel took one of the eggs, brought it up the tree, and I didn't know this. And then all of a sudden I see and hear an egg fall from the tree and hit the ground. I'm like, what in the world? Like that's too far away for the kids to have thrown that. And I go over and the egg has a gnawed hole in it and one of the treats is missing. I look up and I just see the little squirrel gnawing on the chocolate. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I immediately Googled, is a squirrel going to die from chocolate?
Can squirrels eat chocolate?
They're fine. They don't eat a whole lot. And I think dark chocolate is what hurts them the most. It was a Reese's, so I think I'm fine. But that was not something I was expecting for a squirrel to pick up the entire egg and take it up.
And it was plastic eggs, right? Like
yeah, it was a plastic egg.
That probably was worse for them than the chocolate.
Actually, in the chat here, someone asked Rodney, our friend Rodney, actually asked important question: eggs filled with money or chocolate? Yeah, our eggs were filled with chocolate. We bought the chocolates and put them in the eggs because that's how it was when I was growing up. I know nowadays a lot of people will put like a little change in their eggs, and then the kids can buy the candy inside the house so it doesn't melt. But maybe we'll try that next year.
See, if we got Easter candy, it wouldn't have made it to Easter.
Yeah.
We would. Yeah. Well, we do that with our Halloween candy too. Like we'll buy it a week before and we'd be like, okay, we're not going to eat it. And then by Halloween, it's all gone. We had to go buy more.
Yep. We're already going to go through some of the chocolate that we got and the jelly beans and fun stuff like that. Also, I bought we got a Lego set from Legoland. So they Legoland Florida and California opened up an online shop and they're selling their exclusive Legoland sets that you can only get at the parks so that people have something to build while they're at home. So they sent me one of the park ones that has like all the icons and stuff in it. So we've been building that with Spencer because she misses Legoland. She wants to get out there. So it's been fun building that with her, trying to figure out where we're going to put it, probably in our room. But it's just cool. I love building sets with Spencer. She loves playing with them. So it's my passing on what I did as a kid.
Yeah. I just watched Tim and Jen do the roller coaster build. And that thing is huge, so I can only imagine like trying to find space for those things.
We built that one about a year ago. We have it. It's on a shelf on our staircase. It's huge. So that's been our Easter. So I hope everyone out there has had a great Easter and is staying safe, staying clean, all that fun stuff, and trying not to go stir crazy in their houses. But right now we got some stuff to talk about, so we're going to jump right into the news in the queue. And hopefully
Okay.
it's not all doom and gloom.
No, there's one good thing.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's your one good thing. Disney has announced a new series for Disney Plus that will take you behind the scenes of the Walt Disney Archives, specifically the film props, called Prop Culture. Over the series, 8 episodes, which are all going to get uploaded at once on May 1st, host and collector Dan Lanigan will take viewers inside the archives to look at props, costumes, set designs, and music from the following movies. So listen up. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's, or The Curse of the Black Pearl, Mary Poppins, Tron, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Muppet Movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Ooh, I like that one.
I'm really excited to see Pirates and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I definitely number one for me will be Honey, followed by Who Framed Roger Rabbit for sure, and then Pirates as well. I saw some photos that they released out of them like in the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction and like walking the ride and like standing inside the jail cell. So that should be fun.
Yeah, especially because my old Disney work location, we had props from all 3 films in there. I know this was probably filmed like a year ago, but if they ever continue it, because League is closing this summer, I wonder if we'll see any of those props thrown around in this show in future episodes.
Who knows? But if you want to mention Brittany, what's so unique about the release of this series compared to other Disney Plus originals?
This will get dropped all at once, so you can binge the heck out of it as soon as it goes live on May the 1st, which hasn't been a thing for Disney Plus before. But it's nice. I mean, we're all stuck at home. We're all looking for things to do. So they're kind of changing up their streaming strategy and uploading this particular series all at once.
And this one, and I understand. I love that they're doing it with this one because at least with this one, it's not like a narrative where they kind of want to keep you on edge for the week and give you a cliffhanger. Like this is just some behind the scenes stuff. Might as well just throw it all out at once.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, but I'm really excited. I love the BTS type stuff. I was like a special features kid.
Yes,
I would always watch the special features on the DVDs, and I feel like I watched so many of them, especially Pirates and Little Mermaid, and just to tissue, wore them out. So
yeah,
I'm super excited.
Exactly. All right, what's next?
All right, next up, Disney, and by Disney we mean Bob Iger specifically, the executive chairman, has said in a recent interview that they are starting to reevaluate business and kind of the measures that they're going to take once the parks actually reopen. Most notably, he said that temperature checks might become a reality for us at security when you go to the parks. So that means not only are you getting your bag looked in, you're going through a metal detector, but they also might give you a disposable thermometer, and you might have to prove that you are not feverish before you can go in the parks.
I mean, it's something that they've been doing in, I think, China and Japan for a little bit now, where they do temperature checks, and it's for all intents and purposes, it seems to be working pretty well.
Mm-hmm. I believe Shanghai even had like a health QR code that you had on your phone. Mm-hmm. I think that's like a government mandated thing, so I don't think we would be able to do that here. But if you scanned your health QR code and it came up green, you were good to go. And they did temperature checks on top of that. So this is just kind of a smaller form of that security measure that they might instill. They haven't said for sure whether or not this is going to be the norm, but it's something we all have to start thinking about.
Yeah, and Rodney in our YouTube live chat has a great point. Some people who have the virus don't even have symptoms, so you may be carrying it but not sporting a fever. So, like, how can they catch anyone like that might be like that if they're coming to the park? That's
the rub. About. That's the big if with this whole thing. They haven't said anything else in regards to maybe limiting capacity or delaying opening of certain areas of the park or only having it open on certain days. I mean, it's all up in the air at this point. But
I don't know. For those watching our YouTube live right now, I have fancy graphics right now going with some video loops that have to do with each story. It's something I'm trying out here, so I hope you guys are liking that.
Hashtag fancy.
Hashtag fancy indeed.
All right, next up. This is a lot of news, so steel yourself, because this one thing is a lot of things in one thing. Okay, yeah. So Tom Williams, chairman and CEO of Universal Parks and Resorts, shared an update last week for both Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood regarding their temporary closures, as well as an update on the park's employment status for team members. Mm-hmm. So both parks in Hollywood and Orlando will be extending their temporary closures through at least May 31st, as the company continues to evaluate the situation going on in the world and chooses to respond however they deem necessary. This extension also applies to the parks. Universal City Walk at both resorts and Universal Orlando's resort hotels have also closed and suspended operations for this time frame. In addition to the closures, starting April 20th, which is next week, like a week from tomorrow, nearly all team members will be paid at 80% of their usual pay and will be asked to adjust their work hours accordingly to make up for that pay difference. And a small group of team members will still be working and being paid at their full rate. But on March 3rd, part-time hourly team members will be furloughed for a temporary measure of time, and Universal will cover their insurance benefits if they have them, which is cool.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get into the thick of it now with the furloughs and everything. Disney furloughed their non-union cast last week, and Universal is still paying their team members but furloughing the part-timers. And we don't know how long this could go.
Exactly. And Universal was the last of the 3 major parks to announce furloughs and things like that with everything going on. So, yeah, it's now hearing, like, because you hear Disney World saying they're closed until further notice. That could be any dates, really. But when you hear Universal give like to the end of May, that's... oh my God, that's almost 3 months of parks being closed. This is big. I know we say this every single week, but it still shocks us.
And then you have to think about the impact on the local economy, because Orlando is built on these parks. This is how the city survives. And, we have friends, family members that are employed by these parks that are getting furloughed, and that's their lives. That's how they pay rent. That's how they buy their groceries. Yeah. But I don't know. The reporting on it and keeping it accurate is one way that we can kind of help support all of those being affected by this right now.
Yeah.
And just hope that it will end sooner than some think. So a lot of people think it won't end until June or later.
I have a feeling it's going to go into June, maybe even through June. It just depends on, they always say flattening the curve. It just depends on how the amount of new cases compare to previous days and weeks. So if we start seeing a decrease in that, but at the same time, how far of a decrease do we need to get before we start feeling safe again to open up these places? Do we need to get towards 0? Because who knows, even if it's just 100 cases, one person could spread it so far if they go to visit the parks. It's such a tricky situation to even kind of project what's going to happen.
And right now we're 14 to 18 months out from a vaccine. So you would be opening the parks before that's even a possibility. And before mandatory widespread testing is a thing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of testing the waters, waiting to see when it's mostly safe, and then being okay, we'll open the gates again.
And then they could pulsate how many they even let in. The max amount of people could be a lot less. And how are they going to do queue lines and make sure things stay? You can't speculate. And you don't want to speculate because you don't want to put words in the mouths and give misinformation. Just right now, they're temporarily closed, and that's how it's going to be.
Yep. But I think it is worth highlighting that team members will still get paid so long as they're full-time. And even the part-timers will get to keep their insurance benefits, and Universal will pay both their premium and the employee premium on their behalf.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Because Sydney's a customer at Disney, and she's furloughed starting on the 19th, and we're dreading having to do the unemployment because we're hearing so many horror stories out of Florida's unemployment system of it not working. And I feel so horrible for all my friends and other family members who are having those issues right now and can't get that $600 a week. And this is a political thing. We don't get into politics on this podcast, but it's worth noting because it is a very important issue to a lot of our listeners and a lot of our family here. So we're just hoping that can get fixed soon and everyone can get the benefits they need during this time.
Yeah. So be sure to just keep in the know and be aware of your benefits during this time too. I think is probably the next most important thing besides being healthy.
Yeah. Steve has in our chat has a good. What are some various ways that they could check one's temperature? I think you mentioned disposable thermometers.
Yeah, just like the ones that you get at the doctor with like the plastic thing that they can just like throw away, or the ear ones. Because that would be tricky because you would have to have like medical personnel there to do it, and then you would be like in close contact with the person. We're not doctors.
I know they have some digital ones that you don't even have to like touch anyone. It just scans their forehead.
Oh, that's crazy.
So maybe that's the thing. I don't know. It could be different for different age groups. Because I know my son, he recently had to go to the hospital for something, and they took his temperature, but they did like the ear one. So maybe younger kids can only do a certain type versus older ones because the temperature is taken at a better rate. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. I ain't gonna complain. I'm not gonna like talk. I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, and I think kids can do under the armpit too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think kids can do under the armpit as well.
Yeah. All right. Outside of temperatures, we've got some new details about Disney cast members. Last week, we told you about how non-union, I almost said team members, cast members were getting furloughed temporarily starting April 19th. But now the union discussions have ended, and union cast members are also going to be put through a short-term furlough process starting April 19th. So this impacts unions representing more than 40,000 cast members, and each union at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World worked out deals with Disney for the cast members to retain their health insurance, their Disney Aspire, which is how they go to college online to get degrees and advance their education, and other benefits.
I mean, we talk so much about the furloughs, and I've seen a lot of people comments on social media, and I agree with them. Like a lot of big sites like us and other sites were running these stories about these unions. But we got to make sure that there's not a lot of misinformation out there, because a lot of people are just seeing something in the headline and taking it one way and thinking it's affecting everyone when it's only affecting a certain amount. So we just got to make sure that I don't really want to talk too much about it because I don't know much about it and I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Right. If you are listening to this and you're a Disney cast member who happens to be represented by a union in your role, I would encourage you to talk to your shop steward, because they know more than we do.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But things to note are that they get to keep their insurance. Disney pays the employee and employer weekly contributions. They get to return to their same roles and locations once the parks reopen, though the Pirates League is closing in June.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go? I was talking to my friends about this earlier, and I was like, what if the location closes while the parks are closed? What happens to those people?
That's a good point.
Something to think about. And those enrolled in Disney Aspire will still get to access their education program, still get to go to school, and they can use their PTO if they would like, as well as receive the extra $600 benefit from the government on top of their unemployment. So if that affects you, please look into it. Please talk to your shop steward. Please research and learn all your benefits, because that is super crucial right now.
Very much so.
All right. And because of all this, we have an update on a new expansion coming to Disney California Adventure, Avengers Campus, which I was looking at the dates, and this is gonna make you laugh. So our podcast, the week of March 11th, we talked about this and how it was just announced. They put an opening date on it as July 18th. One day later, literally a single day, Disneyland closed for all of this.
Oh my goodness.
And if you've been on the Disneyland website lately, it has changed from opening July 18th to coming soon. And we reached out to Disney, and they told us that it is delayed. Their exact statement that they gave us was, in line with direction from government and health officials, the temporary closure of the Disneyland Resort includes construction sites. So when they closed the park on March 12th, they closed down on all construction across both Disneyland parks. And that was it. And it hasn't been touched since. And that's going to put them behind. The last pictures that I saw of the land, Spider-Man looked pretty far along, but Pym and the Avengers Campus, like the building itself, were still very metal, skeletal looking on the outside.
Yeah.
I thought a July opening was pretty ambitious by the status of what I saw, but now they have more time, at least.
And you know what? We're going to see delays in a lot of Disney stuff, because Disney, both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, have halted their construction projects. So we'll probably see a delay for Ratatouille. We'll probably see a delay for Tron, Guardians, all these big things that they've been saying is probably going to open by the 50th anniversary. At this point, honestly, may not open by the 50th anniversary. Now it's insane.
And I mean, Moana too, that was supposed to have broken ground already. They leveled it, but they hadn't started building anything up.
They haven't leveled all for Moana yet, because they leveled the south part of that intervention side, but the north part still needs to be demoed.
I heard from somewhere that Guardians was basically done.
But really?
I mean, someone said it. I remember, I think it was yesterday, the day before, I was talking to someone. But that's, hearsay. But
maybe they're talking about the actual ride portion, because I know the last time I was at Epcot was probably about a week before the parks closed, and I remember walking by Guardians, and I could see inside what will be the main queue portion at the entrance to the building, and that was still pretty gutted, and you could see the skeletal like looks for what the queue will look like, and some ramps and stuff, but it was far from even being like themed or finished. So if anything's done with Guardians, it's got to be probably the ride portion.
Yeah. As far as delays, I mean, they're missing the perfect summer window with this delay. So I could honestly see them just pushing it back until next year.
Yeah, I could see that, because, once again, who knows how long the closures are going to be. So I doubt they could even maybe make it for the Labor Day weekend. So if they're looking for like a high time to open, it would probably have to be either the holidays, like around when Rise opened here last year, like in early December, or just waiting until spring of next year. We're going to see a lot of delays with, at least with Disney construction projects, because Universal is still full steam ahead with their construction projects. They're following government guidelines, and they are still out there building these projects, like the rumored Jurassic Park coaster at Islands. Epic Universe is still being built right now, so they're not delaying on their stuff. So they're actually kind of taking advantage of no one being in the parks, probably, to get some of this stuff going.
Yeah. My biggest question will be if Super Nintendo opens this summer in Japan.
They already postponed the Olympics to next year. So I would imagine, because they wanted to have Nintendo open in time for the Olympics. So you might see a delay on that opening.
Yeah, we'll see. They haven't said anything yet, and they haven't insinuated as to any kind of delay. To the if one thing Tom Williams pushes in every single update, it's that we're full speed ahead on our construction projects. This is not affecting them whatsoever. So we're still waiting on that one.
Yeah.
Rodney commented about the downtown Disneyland hotel. You see that?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the city of Anaheim shut that down last year.
Yeah, that was canceled last year, like for good. That's not happening. Like it was a nice dream. It looked nice, but the city of Anaheim apparently does not want that to happen, so they're not doing it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep. But that's it for the news.
That is
currently.
it for the news. Every week there's going to be something. We need some more feel good stories. So why don't we talk a little bit about for the main attraction what was happening this weekend, Easter. So Easter is always a fun time in the parks, especially at Disney. They always do some fun things. And Brittany, we were talking earlier. You've never really gotten to experience any of the Easter celebrations that Disney does, right?
No. When I lived in Orlando, I worked at the parks, and I happened to work on the weekends. So Easter Sunday, I was in the Pirates League painting faces. So I never got to see the parades. I never got to do any of the fun stuff or go to the resorts and see characters dressed up. So
yeah,
it's something I missed out on.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Disney every Easter does special things all around the resort. So Magic Kingdom, they have the Easter pre-parade before Festival of Fantasy, where they have the Azalea Trail Maids from Mobile, Alabama. They come with their really colorful, pretty dresses. And actually, while I am thinking about it, I am going to go ahead and play the parade for a little bit next to us so that y'all can see what the parade looks like. This is from last year, from 2019 at the Magic Kingdom. So they do that at Magic Kingdom. Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny meet in Town Square. Epcot, they have an egg scavenger hunt around World Showcase you can take part in. There's several of the resorts at Disney have egg displays that you can go and see. They're like painted in chocolate. There is also, as Brittany said, character meet and greets throughout the resorts of the characters in their Easter Sunday best, looking really dapper. You can see some videos of all this over at attractionsmagazine.com. We put up a blog post where you can see the Easter stuff virtually. So if you want to go check out all of that. But I've got a lot of really great memories of Easter at Disney, specifically back in the day. And I pulled up a tab here from D23. If anyone remembers this, they used to air in conjunction with the Very Merry Christmas parade. They would do Christmas morning on ABC. They also did the Walt Disney World Happy Easter Parade. So they did two televised productions at Christmas and at Easter. So the Easter one started April 7th, 1985, and that went every year until 1999. That was the last year they did the Easter parade on TV. So that was always something that I looked forward to growing up, is seeing the Christmas one and seeing the Easter one, because it was my way of going to Disney while I was living in Texas.
I'm just like mesmerized by the dresses on the screen.
Oh, dresses so gorgeous.
I want one, but I also want like to play in one because it looks like a tent. Now, all right, forgive me for this stupid question, but are these girls, are they cast members?
No, they are from Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
They're called the Azalea Trail Maids. I believe they're high schoolers that they come every year to do this. It's kind of like, the bands that travel around the country to parade down Main Street. This is something that these girls get to do every year for Easter at Disney.
So this is something that they do for school, huh?
I think school. It's either school or like an extracurricular activity or something like that. I haven't done a deep dive into the Azalea Trail Maids, but I'm sure you can Google search and check out the organization out there in Alabama.
And I love the costumes. I wish that they would do more of like seasonal parades instead of just like on the day of.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I will say, of all of like the seasonal parades, like one day parades, I think the Easter parade is the most well done because they go all out with the costumes and the floats and the characters. They make it a nice little thing to see when you're at the park on Easter for sure.
Is that a Halloween float back there?
Yes, it is. One of the floats from the Halloween parade.
Huh. That's cool though. I mean, the fact that they do anything at all, because I feel like Walt Disney World is such a worldwide park, so seasonal overlays and activities are not so easy to come by like they
Mm-hmm.
would be at Disneyland, for example.
Right.
But that's awesome. I feel sad that like this was happening and I was over there in Adventureland and never got to see it.
For those listening to the audio version, we're showing video of last year's Easter parade from Magic Kingdom on the YouTube live stream. You can go check out the replay if you want to see a little bit of it, or see the original video. CNN actually featured it on their website this past weekend, so that was nice to see.
Look at us making the big times.
We're making the. So yeah, I'm mesmerized now by the flow.
By the chicken.
This is making very exciting audio podcast, I'm telling you. And there's the end. So yeah, it's if you ever get a chance, next year, obviously it's not happening this year, but next year, if you're at Disney at Easter, check out the parade that they do. Check out the characters if you're at the resorts. They do some fun activities for the holiday.
I would love to see those eggs, the chocolate eggs in person.
Oh,
yeah.
It's one of those things where you walk in and you just smell it. It's just
yeah, and then you're like salivating. You're like chocolate.
Yeah, it's like the gingerbread at Christmas time when you see the gingerbread displays.
And then you got to get a shingle and walk around and look at everything while you're munching on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So at this point, we I guess not usually. I guess now it's going to be a new thing since we're doing these live streams on YouTube. This is where we're going to turn to the chat. And if you guys got any questions for us, we will happily answer them. I've already got one right here. I think we talked a little bit about it earlier, but Rodney says, what type of restrictions do we think that we'll see once the parks reopen concerning the virus?
I would definitely think capacity reductions, at least by half.
Yeah, agreed. But at the same time, like even I just feel there's so many questions that come up when you think of like different things they could do. You think of one thing and then it just raises another question, because you may cut down the capacity by half, but people are still going to be bunched up in lines. So how do you prevent that? And how do you start making people stand 6 feet apart in the line? Do you get rid of fast pass so standby moves quicker? Like how I don't know.
I mean, it's not a theme park, but my grocery store has started making people stand 6 feet apart in line. And the line goes all the way outside and around the parking lot. I think Disney is probably going to look into virtual queue options, expanding that for the entire park.
I can see.
We could see virtual queue. We could see some attractions not operating because there's no way for it to operate and be socially distant at the same time. Park reductions in capacity, the temperature checks, maybe no more, I don't know, because food contact too, like mobile order and quick service, like you're touching things that people are touching and getting your food and stuff. So maybe new ways to facilitate that exchange with no contact, or I mean, you could think of a million ways to interact with others in the parks and kind of trying to think your way around it.
But yeah, like I said, you think of a new thing, but it raises another question, another issue. It's hard to speculate because we just don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And the problem with virtual queue is you have to have a smartphone with the Disney app corresponding to the park that you're in. My Disney Experience for Walt Disney World, or the Disneyland app for Disneyland. What if a person in your party doesn't have a smartphone? Then they can't get in line.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Are you going to have guest experience cast members with glass in front of them doing the thing for you?
Like wearing like a face mask or something. Like
I'm the grocery store thing again. The cashiers have a wall of plastic in front of them that create a barrier between you, and you're supposed to stand a certain distance from them. And I mean, who knows?
Who knows? Well, I'm sure we'll find out, whenever things start hopefully getting more normal.
Yeah.
All right. So Roaring Lions, something simple. What's your favorite Easter candy?
What's your favorite? I answer the last one first.
For me, it's between. I do love a good like Nestle Crunch, like in the egg shape. and then the some jelly beans, just good old cherry and grape jelly beans.
I am a fiend for the Reese's peanut butter eggs. Listen, I could kill a whole bag of those alone by myself.
See, tomorrow, if you have to get out, if you have to go to the store for any reason for something essential, go get you some bags of those at half price.
Yep. And then I'm just gonna have my happy eggs, and it just tastes better. They taste better than regular Reese's if they're in the shapes.
So here's the thing. I'm probably gonna get some flack for this. I do love Reese's, but I don't like the eggs or the thick with like a lot of peanut butter. I love the thins.
What?
I like more chocolate than the peanut butter.
No, I'm judging you a little bit. They're so good. They're so good.
Nothing but Disney speculation here. What do you think will be the first park to open in Orlando?
I mean, Universal.
You think? You think it could be them?
They seem to be more put together in this entire situation than Disney.
I agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be more straightforward about their timelines and what's going on in the parks. And I mean, they led the whole thing in Orlando by closing up before Disney did. Mm-hmm. So I think Universal will get it figured out and get open first.
Disney was actually the first to close.
Yeah.
But right. Universal was not that far behind.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Roaring Lions, we answered that last week, but for me, it's Rise of the Resistance, followed closely by Tower of Terror as my favorite Disney ride.
And for me, it's Rise and Haunted Mansion with an honorable mention to Phantom Manor because I've never been on that one.
Yes.
But I love it.
Peter's channel, you've been to Disneyland now, so what is your favorite food at Disneyland?
Oh, man. I love the beignets from the mint julep stand area.
Thank you. Exactly. Beignets with a mint julep is what you should be getting at Disneyland.
But I also, the table service out there is just, you can't beat it. You really can't. I had my only and last Disneyland trip was in 2017, and we went to Carthay Circle and Blue Bayou, and the dinners were immaculate. Absolutely delicious. Yeah. So
love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what else? Looking through the comments here. Oh, interesting question. Okay, Roaring Lions. If you could time travel, where would you go?
I answered the last one first. You answered this one first.
If I could time, okay. So I know it's not an out there time, but I honestly would probably time travel back to the first year I went to Disney. I would try and travel to 1992 to kind of relive what Disney was like the first time I ever visited.
I don't remember my first Disney trip, so maybe that would be a good one.
And then after that, I'll probably zoom 100 years and see what history is saying about us.
I see what the aliens think when they uncover us in a million years. Geez, I think I would want to time travel to like the 1800s, the Old West. I love that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Or go back to, I think, because Disneyland opened 55, I think I would want to go like 64 or 65.
Yeah, Rodney has a good, either 55, but I would say probably, 63 or 64 Disneyland when Walt is still there, but there's a lot more added since the park opened. I feel that would be a good time to see the park during Walt's time.
Yeah. And then see him walk around with those autograph cards, handing them out to kids.
Yeah. Keep hitting buttons here. Yes, Steve, we did put up the Easter parade. We showed a little bit of it earlier in the podcast here, but you can go check out the full parade up on our YouTube channel and on Facebook as well. I keep seeing this guy ask this question. I don't know. I've never watched the Wiggles, so I'm sorry. I don't have a favorite song.
I liked the Wiggles when I was a kid, but none of them left any kind of impact on me other than fruit salad. That's the only one I can remember still.
Fruit
I'm not going to
salad?
do it.
Would you mind singing a few keys of this?
No. There's like a hand dance, like a thing
like
to it.
the jive, or like what?
Yeah, there's like a hand dance to it, if I remember correctly, but I'm not going to sing it.
All right.
You should look it up. Just look up the Wiggles fruit salad.
I'm afraid to, but I guess I'm gonna have to.
No, it's like a children's thing.
I don't need my kids addicted to something else.
Don't play with headphones in, and then you'll get addicted to it.
Oh, no, thank you. I highly doubt that, Brittany. Highly doubt that. All right, so at this point, I want to give a big old shout out to our new club and VIP subscribers. We had a lot of people sign up over the past week for our subscription plans, which if you'd like to check it out, you can go to attractionsmagazine.com/store and see our levels of subscription. Some levels can get you all of our back issues in the magazine. Some will get you a mystery merch box every 4 months with a bunch of random things that we've gotten over the years at media events and things like that. It's a really, really good value. We're also going to have exclusive videos and podcasts and interviews and stuff that we're going to start rolling out soon because we're seeing such an uptick in our subscribers. So we got to start getting some of these exclusive things out to you guys.
Yeah, I wish you could have seen all of the notifications that we got in our emails, just one after the other, VIP, club, over and over the entire day. It was insane.
It was nice because we had a nice little deal going for some people who are subscribed to All Ears. They got an ad in their newsletter, so go check out All Ears, and maybe you'll get a deal in the future for us there. So we got a huge amount of subscribers. So I apologize to everyone here if we butcher any of these names, because most likely we will. There's so many. Let's read them. Let's do 4 at a time. I'll start them off. Brittany, do you have the list with you?
I am pulling it up right. Oh God, it's long.
All right, I will start. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so to Michael Bailey, Joanne Bonura, Mark Casey, and Julie Dennis, thank you so much for subscribing.
Okay. Mark Dion, Ava Famularo, Susan Fiacco, Ellen Gafford. That's 4. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ardola Goodwin. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ardola Goodwin, Lewis Jones, James Koslowski, and John Cream. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing.
Tommy Poulin, Tina Pressinger, Debbie Sarver, and Darlene Shannon. Thank you.
Cassie Sumas, Donna Spincieri, Cheryl Stewart, and Dana Swisher. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I am so sorry if I butcher any of your names. Please email us and let us know and shame us.
Charlie Trujillo, Colleen Vito, Michelle Wagner, and Catherine Waters. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for messing up your names, but we love you.
Yes, we love everyone that subscribes to us. And like I said, you too can subscribe at attractionsmagazine.com/store. Our newest issues, the spring issue of Attractions Magazine, came out recently, featuring Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway on the cover. So you can check that out. And
I have it over there, and I'm trying to will it to me.
Of course.
Yeah, so I can show it, but just pretend it's here.
Yes, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Nothing can stop us now. Well, something can stop us, but when it opened, we didn't think anything could stop us now.
Yikes. You should pick up a copy.
Yes, please pick up a copy. You can get a physical copy mailed to you, or you can get a digital copy in our app or on Nook and Kindle devices. So please, support us, because we're trying to churn out some content for you guys to keep you guys entertained. We're trying to put out at least one video every single day of the week, so you have something new to watch while you're at home. And we would love the support so we can keep this thing rolling for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us something to do to get to make things and make content for you guys, and it means the world to us when you share it and enjoy it and brings light to your day in this weird time we're living in.
Yes. Steve, thank you. Taking the time to do this thing live. It's been very done. The production value is great. All kidding aside, deeply appreciated. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much.
I really am enjoying doing this live and bringing in these video clips and photos as we talk about them. So definitely, if you're listening to this on our audio version, please join us Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we live stream the recording of the podcast, and you'll get some fun visuals as well.
And I'm just speaking for myself here, but I love seeing your face while I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes it so much more personable, and it reminds me of when we did Expansion Drive and we were all sitting around the table.
Yes.
So we're virtually doing that now, but I think it definitely helps.
Exactly. Real quick, I want you to plug this. Brittany, you were recently on the Thrill Geek podcast.
Yeah, I was. I got asked on, and we talked about Star Wars and video games and theme park stuff. And there's one more thing we talked about that I can't remember, but it was a great, lengthy conversational podcast. So if that's your bag, you should go check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Thrill Geek, all the social media platforms, search for them on the podcasts. Clint does a great job with that over there, and Emily and all of the people at Thrill Geek are amazing people. Hopefully, hey Clint, I can.
Are you jealous? I was on there with Barry this week. So they haven't worked out a way to have Barry and Clint at the same time.
Okay. I was wondering if it was Barry or Clint.
Yeah, it was Barry with me this week. So somebody's jealous.
Well, honestly, we should return the favor and have Clint or Barry on our podcast. Now that we're doing this live stream thing, we can have guests on here.
Just plug them in.
Yeah, well,
that would be so fun.
We'll bring one of them in this maybe next week or some week in the future. We'll do some guests and do some cross promotion and things like that.
We could have a fun discussion-based podcast instead of a sad news hour podcast.
Honestly, maybe that could be one of our special podcasts just for subscribers.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Like we'll keep this the news podcast for free, and then if you want to hear some conversational podcasts, you guys subscribe to us.
Incentive.
I like it. Rodney says, "Bring John."
Oh, he's in there, probably playing Animal Crossing what he was doing when I left him. So
yes. All right. Well, with that, it is time to say goodbye. So, Brittany, where can everyone find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at BRITTANITUTTLE. Yes, it's spelled funny on Twitter and Instagram, and at twitch.tv/BritPlays, and that's Brit with 3 T's. I started The Witcher 3 today. I normally only stream once a week, but the game is awesome. I might start streaming more frequently.
Oh, we'll have to go check you out and subscribe over there.
Yeah, follow me, because if I hit 50 followers, I'm one step closer to affiliate, so you should do that.
Definitely. You can find me on Twitter at Banksley, on Instagram at Disney Goofball, and of course all of the Attractions Magazine socials on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course attractionsmagazine.com. That'll do it for us this week. Hope you guys had a great Easter and you have a great week. Stay safe, stay entertained, stay healthy. And just know we love you guys, and thank you guys for supporting us and tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and hanging out.
All right. Until next week, we'll see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And cut. All right.
Boom, baby.
We are done. Thanks, everyone, in our live chat here for joining us this week. I hope the visuals helped with the production value and made it look more professional and fun things like that. Trying out things here. And why am I dancing like this? I don't know.
Every time I dance, my lighting changes. I've noticed it just in my frame, like it's really gray, and then I'll move and it'll go like a little warm toned. And then I'll move back and it'll go.
It's like an auto white balance.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird. All right. Well, Brittany, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Yes, and everyone out there, we'll see you next Sunday. See you for ENL on Wednesday. And thanks for joining. We'll see you. I just said that.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.